Today, we'll take a break from consumer inflation to think about how we afford all those things in our baskets, specifically sizing up wage inflation for some of the lowest paid workers. Since the pandemic, compensation for U.S. workers is up 12%, but we're paying 16% more for stuff. In real terms, most of us are going backward. But food service workers saw their compensation rise 21%. Retail workers have also outrun inflation, up 17%. How big a deal is this? Well, here's food and retail pay since the pandemic, way above the overall index and any other major category. Even next to other service sector jobs, food and retail are huge outliers. But the view over 20 years is even more interesting to me. One thing you see is that it is rare for any sector to break away from the pack like this. The second thing is that these sectors have for decades been near the bottom when it comes to wage growth. Food workers especially lagged for years after the Great Recession. But since 2020, that trend has reversed and then some. These low-wage jobs are now some of the biggest gainers over the past 20 years. Just to level set a little bit, these are workers whose annual pay averages about $30K. 1 in 3 Medicaid and food stamp recipients work in food and retail. The number of jobs in these sectors is back to pre-pandemic. Employers say they are still shorthanded. But this tight labor market and the rise of AI also mean Julia the robot has started taking your order at White Castle. I did a gut check on all this with the political director of our local hospitality workers union. Wade Luneberg thinks these big gains for restaurant workers, at least, are here to stay, even in the face of automation.
We're going to see industries shapeshift a little bit to address some of those labor shortages that are still out there. But there are fewer workers that, unless there are durable increases in wages and other benefits, I think workers do have options right now.
Wade says the persistent demand for takeout after the pandemic is one big thing sustaining the need for more workers. And in the data, consumer spending for restaurants continues to increase, even after inflation, seemingly unfazed by higher prices. Inside your takeout box, the challenge of monetary policy. The same consumer spending that's pushing up inflation is also driving a historic boost in pay for low-wage workers who have long lagged behind everyone else. Thanks to Wade Luneberg, and I'll see you next time we pull something out of the basket.